What's up, guys? It's me, Alan. I am back with another video, and I'm back with more news regarding Sasha Banks. It appears, according to Meltzer, and I know it's Meltzer, so take it with a grain of salt, but it's getting bigger, man. It appears as though Sasha not only is going to be at Wrestle Kingdoms on January the 4th, but has been booked for multiple dates by New Japan. Who's obviously owned by the same company as Stardom, so that's where she'd be. And on top of that, may be done with WWE. So with that being said, we got an article from Wrestle Purists. I'm gonna read that, give my thoughts. Um, and with that being said, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and streams. This past Thursday, PW Insider reported that Mercedes Varnado, aka Sasha Banks in WWE, is expected to be at New Japan, at NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 17 event on January 4th, which would be her first pro wrestling appearance since her WWE suspension in May earlier this year. Of course, there's the whole thing with Banks and Naomi, the walkout, yada yada yada. Dave Meltzer, during Wrestling Observer Radio, has now provided an update on the prospect of Varnado appearing at New Japan's biggest show of the year, seemingly confirming the news, as well as noting that she's agreed to multiple dates with the company. As such, her time with WWE appears to be done as of now, with Meltzer also revealing that AEW may be able to reach an agreement on payment that WWE hasn't been able to thus far. So here's the quote. She's going to the show. She will be appearing on the show. She will not wrestle on the show. She has dates with New Japan Pro Wrestling in her deal. I do not believe it is signed. She could sign with WWE, and this could all fall apart. But she has pretty much agreed to their terms. So as far as they are concerned, they have a deal. She will not be Sasha Banks. She will be Mercedes Moné or whatever name she's gonna go by. Mercedes has been trademarking a bunch of stuff recently, so I think that's what she's gonna roll with. She will be there. It's part of a deal to work with New Japan. I do not know how AEW fits in. Obviously, everyone is going to jump to the speculation that she is the mystery partner for Saraya against Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker on the Forum show January 11th. That's in LA. And now, if it's not her, then it's going to be a terrible disappointment. Perhaps it is. New Japan cannot afford to pay the numbers WWE wasn't willing to pay her. I can say that. AEW could obviously afford that, so is it a deal where she does both? Perhaps that I cannot confirm at all. I know that when I asked AEW, I got a non-answer. Varnado has previously teased a match between herself and Kyrie, the former Kyrie Sane in WWE, for the IWGP World Championship across her social media platforms. At the event on January 4th, Kyrie is set to defend said title for the first time against Tam Nakano, and thus Varnado may make an appearance following the match to challenge the eventual winner. Meltzer continued, further clarifying that as of writing, Varnado is believed to be done with WWE. However, the lack of official confirmation may mean that WWE could still agree to terms and thus throw the aforementioned New Japan plans in the air. This is for Meltzer. I do not know what the situation is with AEW. I only know the situation with New Japan, and she's agreed to go to that show. I think everyone can probably figure out the most likely scenario, which would be challenging the winner of the women's IWGP Championship match, and that she is going to make appearances for New Japan in 2023, and she is, barring a last minute change, and the fact she has made this deal already, at least verbally, because they have dates booked for her now. Barring a last minute change in her backing out on what she has agreed to, she's not going back to WWE, but you cannot always rule that out. And this may also be one of those situations where WWE goes, we don't want her going AEW, maybe we'll jump the number up, or maybe they'll just say she's more trouble than she's worth, she's asking for so much money. Which of course was the attitude a month ago, so that's kind of where it all stands. I mean, to be fair, Sasha knows how much she's worth, and considering how much Vince fucked shit up with her in WWE, and before you jump on me, I know she's had her championship runs, but the thing is, what was the biggest thing that Sasha was known for in WWE when it came to her booking? She'd win a championship and lose it in her first defense. A lot. Um, Maybe not as much later on, but early on, especially to Charlotte, yeah. Anyway, January 4th, Tokyo Dome and other dates, and Mercedes Monet, Mercedes Varnado, or whatever name she's going to go with. But as of right now, she's done with WWE. But like I said, it could change at any moment. Varnado recently shared a number of photos of her training across Mexico and the United States, and thus, regardless of the promotion, a return to the ring certainly appears closer than ever. Time will tell as to whether Varnado appears at Wrestle Kingdom 17, debuts in AEW as Soraya's tag team partner on January 11th, or even returns to WWE. Regardless, next month is likely to be a huge one for the former multi-time WWE Women's Champion, and as always, we'll aim to provide any updates on her in-ring future as we hear more. Um, Now, there's one other tweet that I want to mention, and it's interesting because this was a thing um, however long ago. But gotta find it. Gotta find it. Hold on. Hold on. All right, it's from Raj Giri. Um, he reported, or he says, I had reported back in June that Sasha Banks received her WWE release. Clearly, there was a provision that she couldn't do anything wrestling related until the new year. If she were still under WWE contract, WWE would have frozen it, and she wouldn't be able to appear for New Japan Pro Wrestling. There is another thing that's gone around of Sasha was supposed to be at WrestleCade around Thanksgiving, but they ended up getting told that she wasn't going to be able to make wrestling appearances until 2023 January 1st, whatever, which also seems to imply that her WWE deal, at least the current one that she's on, is supposed to end at the end of this year. Now, WWE never officially announced that Sasha and Naomi were released. That was a big thing for a much of this year after the walkout happened. It was speculated to hell and back, but it was never officially announced. And personally, I think what it is, it's either what I think it is, at least in Sasha's case, because we don't know with Naomi, but I think with Sasha is she might have been released, but in reality, she's basically got told to stay at home and sit out the rest of her contract. And I think Sasha will one day make this revelation when she decides to, as far as what the hell happened. But it does sound like, but what it sounds like is WWE, however much Sasha's asking for, might not be willing to give it to her. And I think what it is she might be trying. I wouldn't be surprised if she's trying to get like Roman and Brock money, which I understand. Like in terms of women's wrestling, she is by far one of the best. And y'all, people might say she's overrated. I don't personally feel that way. I think it's just that when you look at her WWE run, and on Parts Fun and over on Parts Fun Unknown, there was a video that was done earlier this year about the top 10 things WWE did wrong with Sasha Banks. I'll link that in the description below if you want to go watch it. I personally suggest watching it, but it's just like for as much of a star as Sasha is, being part of the Four Horsewomen, Vince did not value her as much. Like, look, if you look at the four, Charlotte was always valued the most. And then it's a toss up between Sasha and Becky at 2, and then Bayley down at like 4. Don't get me wrong, all 4 of them are valued members of the roster, but all of them were looked at as second best to Charlotte, I think, in Vince's eyes and in Ric Flair's eyes too. Um, and it sucks because they're all 4 of them are so good. It's just Charlotte got pushed so much, so hard, and it took away from everybody else. Like, don't get me wrong, Sasha and Charlotte battling so much back, like all the way back in like what 2016, passing the title back and forth. They had great matches, but Sasha deserved like even like Alexa won the belt off of Sasha at one point or once or twice. But like at the same time, which I'm happy for, but at the same time, Sasha deserved to retain her title every now and again. And just constantly losing it on her first defense, that's dumb, in my opinion. Now, so as far as Sasha goes, I'm gonna be happy for her no matter where she goes. if she stays in WWE, goes to AEW, and by extension goes to New Japan, or goes straight to New Japan slash Stardom, you know, I'll be happy for her. I think the big thing is that maybe she, in the end, I think she kind of wants to move on from WWE like that. Like I think she's closing that chapter for now, and she wants to go do stuff with New Japan and Stardom. Now, I still think that if WWE does pony up the money to keep Banks around, they will let her go to New Japan to run dates there because I think Triple H has more of a willingness to let talent do other things while still under WWE contract. Kevin Owens has been talking recently about wanting to make some indie appearances while still at WWE. Shinsuke Nakamura is doing the match with Great Muta at a Noah show. Noah being an acronym for the promotion. Um, and I personally think WWE. I think Triple H would be willing to do that because he knows how much because him and Steph I think values Sasha more in WWE than Vince ever did, and they know if they lose her specifically to AEW, that's gonna be huge. However, so maybe they do pony up the money for Sasha, but at the same time, who knows? If you're gonna get mad at Sasha for asking for a shitload of money, look, anybody would do that. All right, they know how much they're worth, and Sasha knows how much she's worth. So you gotta respect that. But yeah, I want to deliver the news, and this is something to keep an eye on, man. We're basically nearing the midway point of December. Your Christmas is coming up, New Year's is coming up, and then January 4th, Wrestle Kingdom 17. Um, we'll see, man. We'll see. But with all that being said, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you do not miss out on future videos and streams. Thank y'all for getting me to 700 subscribers, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.